Have you ever been insulted by someone so petty, so relentless, that you wished you could just serve them a taste of their own medicine? Literally? Well, I did exactly that. And the look on his face, priceless. This isn't just a story of homemade wine. It's about humiliation, jealousy, and a revenge that left the whole room stunned. If you've ever dreamed of putting a toxic person in their place, hit that like button and subscribe. Today's story is a masterclass in quiet revenge. And trust me, it's delicious. Let me set the scene. It was during the pandemic, a time when the world shut down, borders closed, and shelves went empty. But where I lived, it got even worse. We lived in a country where alcohol was hard to get even in normal times. Now, with the main supplier shut for over a year, it was impossible. And that's when I decided to dust off an old hobby, brewing. 15 years it had been since I brewed my last batch of wine, beer, or mead. But desperate times. So I got to work. Using local fruits, grains, and a little knowledge that most had forgotten, I started brewing again. Not for profit, not for fame, but to help my friends, my community. People would trade me little things. Fresh eggs, veggies, help with repairs. In exchange, I kept their spirits high, in more ways than one. But there's always one person who can't stand to see others happy, right? Enter him. Let's call him Rick. Rick was that guy. You know the type. Always negative. Always jealous. And Rick hated that people actually liked what I was making. That they came to me. That I knew how to brew when he didn't. And he made sure I knew it. At every gathering, Rick would toss insults at my wine. Tastes like vinegar. I've had better foot wash. You sure this isn't just fermented disappointment? Now here's the kicker. My wine was good. Not fancy, but good. Clear. Balanced. Strong. The kind of wine that made your cheeks warm and your heart lighter. People loved it. But Rick, he just couldn't stand that attention wasn't on him. Even worse, his wife backed him up. Every sneer. Every insult. She was right there. Yet, at every party, my bottles would empty while his sad little attempts sat untouched. I stayed silent. First, because I believed in staying humble. Because I didn't want drama. But the more he needled me, the more the anger simmered underneath. Then came the night of the tasting event. Our little tradition. A night when friends gathered, sampled the new batches, shared laughs. That's where most of my friends had first tried my drinks. Rick showed up, of course. And before I could even offer him a glass, he started. The king of swamp water himself, he smirked. People laughed awkwardly. I forced a smile. Offered him a glass anyway. He took it, sipped, then spat. Garbage, as usual. I felt something shift in me that night. Maybe it was the constant insults. Maybe it was the looks of pity from people who knew my stuff was good. Or maybe I was just done. Either way, the plan formed right there. I looked him dead in the eye, smiled, and said, "Well, you made that one. I didn't want you to feel left out." Silence. The entire room froze. His face. Oh, his face. First confusion. Then horror. Because yes, the wine he'd just spat out in disgust, it was his own. I had, a few weeks earlier, quietly taken one of his forgotten bottles from a past gathering, cleaned it up, relabeled it, and when tonight came, I filled it with his own failed brew, and I served it to him, in front of everyone. The silence turned to muffled laughter. People whispered. Some openly chuckled. Rick's wife's face turned a shade of red I didn't know existed. Rick. He stood there, frozen, then wordlessly shuffled out, dragging his wife behind him. They lasted 5 minutes, maybe less. And just like that, Rick the critic was gone. I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. Sometimes, the best revenge doesn't need fireworks. It just needs patience. And a little of their own bitterness, served cold. That night, people kept coming up to me, clapping me on the back, laughing, thanking me. Because in that one moment, justice had been poured, one glass at a time. So, what did I learn? People like Rick, bullies driven by jealousy, eventually choke on their own bitterness. Sometimes literally. If you're ever underestimated, remember, your work speaks louder than their words. If that revenge hit the spot, smash that like button and share your own satisfying revenge stories in the comments. And hey, if you enjoy stories where karma gets served with a twist, subscribe for more. Until next time, cheers!